In a week of historic congressional happenings, this Occupy Democrats episode is dedicated to the victims of Jeffrey Epstein. And in breaking news, one of those victims just obliterated Speaker Mike Johnson for his attempt to block the release of the Epstein files to protect Donald Trump. And I have the details on that and much more coming up next.
But I don't understand why the Jeffrey Epstein case would be of interest to anybody.
Well, Donald, it turns out that interest in the relationship between you and your bestie is sky high right now. And to that point, let's begin with a gripping PSA that I just discovered that features some of the victims, followed by their real-time feelings about the vote, and on the other side, a stern message for obstructionist Mike Johnson.
I suffered so much pain.
So much pain.
So much pain.
I suffered so much pain.
This is me.
This was me.
This is me.
When I met Jeffrey Epstein.
This is me when I met Jeffrey Epstein.
There are about 1,000 of us.
It's time to bring the secrets out of the shadows. It's time to shine a light into the darkness.
And here you are to share your story. Why did you decide that now was the time you wanted to share what you've been through?
Because I finally feel safe to be able to come out and tell my story, and I feel that it's time. Today is a monumental day, and I feel like we're making history, and I want to support everybody, all the girls that are there, and Sky and Amanda, and everybody who's already been involved.
And I was wondering what was going through your minds, because I know you think a lot about Virginia in these moments and how she inspired people, how she had the courage to come out. What was going through your mind when you were watching Charlene talk this morning?
I felt Virginia. I felt Virginia in her voice, in Charlene's story, and who she is. And I think she was there empowering every single one of them and every single one of us. And we just miss her so much physically, but having this bond and connection, I've gained so many sisters, and I'm so grateful for it. So.
That was the conversation on MSNBC, and over at CNN, Epstein victim Haley Johnson was turning up the heat on Mike Johnson and Trump for hiding the truth from Americans. Have a listen.
But he said that the majority of the survivors for Epstein have not spoken out, and he was concerned that this could harm innocent people or other survivors who want to stay private, or people who have nothing to do with this.
Well, no, that's actually inaccurate in my opinion, because the survivors that don't want to be public are Jane Does. They've been protected, and their names have been redacted this whole time as Jane Does. The only people that you need to worry about are the survivors that are in those files and documents that are public and that are on the right side of things and whose names have never been redacted. I'm one of those people, and I've been very vocal on, I don't care if my name is redacted or not. My survivor sisters are important to me. Mm-hmm. And if that means that my name doesn't get redacted, but the files come out, that is the right thing to do. And that is it. There's no conversation that needs to partake in any of this. And honestly, this is where the administration failed the American people, not just the survivors of Jeffrey Epstein. You lose all credibility when you go back on your promises to the American people and the survivors that you campaigned on in 2024. You lose all credibility when you play the flip-flop game and you start intimidating people in your own party like Thomas Massie and Marjorie Taylor Greene that are on the right side of things. That's when you lose credibility. And you don't just lose credibility with your party, you lose credibility with your constituents. And I don't think Trump understands who some of his constituents are. And so for me, anything that comes from Johnson, the House Speaker, or this administration, I take with a grain of salt.
It's a good thing when Democrats speak out against Johnson and Trump, but on some level it does become white noise. It's paint-by-numbers politics that plays out each day on the news. But when victims speak out with raw emotion and at risk to themselves, it's not something that can be ignored, and it has the power to cut across political ideology and loyalty. If Donald Trump is brought down by the Epstein scandal and or the Republican Party is damaged beyond repair, it won't be because Democrats finally convinced the world of Trump's guilt or a GOP cover-up. It will be because the victims' stories reached people on an emotional level. That collective human energy, not political maneuvering, will be the thing that swings the door wide open for accountability and justice.